All right, scholars, let's go over the test of conjecture. Hector, Sandra, and Maria are all reading the same book. Hector has read 7/10 of the book. Sandra has read 4/5 of the book. Maria has read 15/20 of the book. List the order of who has read most of the book to who has read the least. Okay, so we got to compare three fractions here in order to answer this question. So I'm going to leave the fractions right here. And the first thing I'm trying to do is look for a common denominator that I can multiply all these into. It will be better if we could also, it would be even better if we find the least common denominator, meaning the smallest number we could find that they all multiply into. So one step to take is to list multiples. Okay, that's an option that I can take right now. So multiples of 10, 10 goes into itself, and 10 times 2 is 20. Okay, I could go with the fives now. 5 multiplies to itself, so 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. So I see a match already, but I know 20 doesn't go into 10. 15, and then 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, so we got a match. And then when I write the multiples of 20, I know 20 goes into 20. So now I can see that all three numbers multiply into 20. So I can make a new fraction with that denominator. And I'm going to set it up right over here. Okay, so that's going to be one fraction, another fraction, and then another fraction. And all of these fractions are going to have the denominator 20. But the numerator might need a change in order to make that happen. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start with Hector. So if I want 10 to multiply into 20, I do got to multiply that 10 by 2. So I need to make sure that I keep the fraction equivalent. So I got to multiply this entire fraction by 2 over 2. So 7 times 2 is going to be 14. All right, next one, going over to Sandra. So for Sandra, it's a 5. If it's going to become a 20, I need to multiply by 4. So that means I got to multiply this fraction by 4 over 4. And 4 times 4 is 16. So for Sandra's new fraction, it's going to be a 16. Okay, so now for Maria, well, 20, if 20 is going to become 20, I would just multiply by 1. So I'm going to multiply by 1 over 1. So 15 times 1 is 15. So this fraction is going to stay the same. So now I could compare, because since all the denominators are equal to each other, I can just compare by looking at the numerators. And I see the greatest numerator here is going to be this 16, this one right here. And that 16 belongs to Sandra. So Sandra has the greatest 1. So I'm starting to type. Next is going to be the 15, and that one belongs to Maria. And then the last one is this 14, which is the fraction that represents Hector. And that's the test of conjecture. And the conjecture that's connected to that question is fractions rewritten with a common denominator can be directly compared, and decimals written with a common place value can be directly compared.